everybody, Patty Ann here. Welcome. I'm so glad you've signed up to take this 5-part series on getting to know your silhouette machine so that you can get it out of the box and get creating with it. Today is the first installment. Every week you'll get another one. And today, well, actually, let's look back here and see where we are today. We're at Silhouette America in Utah. Well, not actually, but that is where it's located. We're actually here in my studio, in my office, and I'm ready to get started. So let's look down at my computer and let's go. Okay, the first thing I wanted to show you was the difference between the editions that they have in Silhouette that are available to us. And by the way, I will have a link for you in the um, email so that if you wanted to get business edition rather than it costing $99 as it says here, I can get it for you with my link for about $59. So stay tuned for that if you need to purchase it. But anyway, they have the basic edition, which is free, and it comes with all kind of tools that you can play with, and you can have a lot of fun. Check out all these check marks over here. But I want you to notice something. When we start getting down here into some of the really fun tools, they're not available to you. Well, one of the things is you can import SVGs if you have the designer edition and above. And then also you have the knife tool, the shadow tool, nesting, erasers, all kinds and kinds of things. Now I do want to show you one more thing. If you get down here where they have the advanced rhinestone features, you no longer get that in designer edition. You'd want to have designer edition plus or the business edition, which is the top of the line. You also could import embroidery files if you happen to have those, if you have designer edition or above. There are flexi shapes, and that's a wonderful thing I'm going to be showing you about, and lots of other things here. Now notice the designer edition plus stops here, so these things down here at the bottom only come with the business edition. So for example, if you wanted the advanced warp function, which is pretty cool, or the weed line feature, these are things that only come with the business edition or above. And as I said, I'll have a link for you down below. It's an affiliate link. I make a few pennies on each one, but it's really worth it for you to save the money because I bought mine here first before I knew about the affiliate link that I have. So, all right. Now the next thing that we're going to discuss is how I have my screen set up. So let's go to Silhouette. And if you look at how I have my screen set up, the first thing I want you to do is to come over here on the right hand side at the very top, and you'll see this little page icon here. I'm going to click on that to open the panel. These are all called panels over here. I'm going to open the page setup panel. Right now, my page size is custom. You see this white here? That is the page, and it's set to custom for some reason. I actually like mine to be set to automatic cameo because that's the perfect 12 by 12 page or mat. The other thing I always do is I pretty much always use my cutting mat, so I have the cutting mat also set to cameo 12 by 12. Now, I like to get down here and have the cut border turned on. And that's pretty much it for this part of the page setup panel. I click on the next one here, and this is what I also like to have. I like to have show grid turned on and show guides and snap to guides. I do not want my crosshairs turned on. Some people like those. You see those little hairs that are following my mouse around? Maybe you can barely see them. I don't really like those on for the most part, so I click that off. I do have the ruler on. Notice if I click it, toggle it, or click it off and on. Right now it's off. Look right up here when I click it on, and there it is, off and on. I like my spacing to be square, and I like my grid to be in 1-inch squares and a division of 2. Now sometimes your You may like yours really dark. I do not. I don't like mine to be visible much at all. I like to make mine really low. So maybe yours came in as red, or maybe it came with black or blue. I'm not sure exactly how they come in when they're new, or green. What I do is I change mine to this gray color right here, and then I make it really, really transparent, just like that, so I can barely see it. So that's the way I really like my page to be set up. Another thing is you can come way down here in the corner. You can probably just barely see it. There's these little arrows that are spinning around, or not spinning around, but they go around and around. I can click on those, and you see how that changes the look of my workspace. Some of you may like the dark look. I don't. I prefer to have mine the light look. Okay, something else I need to show you is that my screen may look like a whole lot different than yours. I do have the business edition. Well, let me show you something. If I come up here to where it says help, I can view in the standard or basic edition. And when I do that, you'll notice I don't have as many tools over here, and nor do I have as many tools over here. I no longer have some of the panels that I really like to use over here. I can also view it, go to help, and view it in the Designer Plus edition. And that's the one I would recommend for you to get, so you can get the most bang for your buck, unless you're doing this because you have a Cricut machine and you want to use this software for Cricut. You must have the business edition. But we're talking Silhouette today, so Designer Edition Plus is perfect for you. And over here you have all the panels, including the rhinestone panel and the warp panel, all kinds of good stuff over there that you can have so much fun using. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was how to make sure that you put your blade in properly. And I have two images that show this in the email that you got. So you want to make sure that you put your blade in, and look at these two little ridges right here. There are two little ridges right here. You want to put those two little ridges so they line up back here with the two little ridges back there, and then push it all the way down and push this in. And you shouldn't see a gap whatsoever, and that's perfect like that. The other thing you need to be aware of is when you use your mat, to make sure you line your mat up just as I had shown in the picture in the email. So there's these two little triangles here in a line. I'm going to line the edge of my mat up with that. I'm going to make sure it goes underneath this plastic wheel and this little skinny plastic wheel. And then I'm going to say load, and it's going to load in just like that, and it's ready to go. Okay, that is it. You have just completed part 1 of a 5-part series, Getting to Know Your Silhouette. You are going to love your machine. I promise you're going to get it out of the box and start having fun with that thing in no time. Next week, we're going to go over some of these tools on the left-hand side, and there are some fun ones over here. Get prepared for some more fun next week. See you then. Bye-bye.